Okay guys, this is officially it, your last video for the quarter. So what should you be doing this week? Well, first you should be making sure that your scene and 3D model are as complete as possible. And then, you need to actually turn it in. I'll show you how to build your scene into a finished game and turn it in soon. But before you do that, you should really make sure that your scene is as good as it can be. It would be wise to review the rubric before you finish your game and turn it in. But I'll just go over some things quickly that should help you make sure you're on the right track. So, what should you have? Well, you should absolutely have your terrain in here. And that terrain should be painted with hills, mountains, bumps, valleys, and hopefully it's painted in a way that makes sense. So the crater should look a little bit like a crater. You should also have your car in the scene, and the car should be drivable with a camera that follows it. Beyond that, you should have some assets that you found on the asset store and imported. More importantly, you should also have assets that you created, including your first rock that you made while we were working on our Maya review. Also, you should have another 3D model that you created that's more detailed than the rock and has textures included. Oh, and you should definitely have a skybox that improves your scene. So if you have all those things in your scene, you're on the right track. But before you turn it in, I encourage you to make sure that you take some time to go and polish. Rework your terrain if you need to, make it a little bit better. If the UVs on your 3D models don't look great, take some time, if you have it, and go back and try to fix them up. If you didn't get to normal maps to improve your textures, do that. You should be going around your game piece by piece, using all the time you have until you have no more, trying to improve and finish your game as much as possible. And of course, while you're working, remember to save frequently. But now let's say that you're happy with your environment and/or you're out of time and we need to turn it in. Well, what I don't want you to do is don't just take your entire Unity project folder and try to attach it in Schoology to turn it in. What we're going to do is create a final build of our game. So, while you're in Unity, go up to Unity at the top here. While you're in Unity, go up to File, then scroll down to Build Settings, and click on this. Now the build settings are how we actually build a playable game, an application that runs without Unity. In theory, we could build this for any number of devices, from Xbox to PlayStation to tablets and phones, but we actually don't have all the software installed for that, and that wouldn't be incredibly useful to most of us right now anyhow. So what we will be doing is leaving this on the default, PC, Mac, and Linux standalone, and I don't really need you to change any of these settings over here, but there is one step that's incredibly important. You'll notice that up at the top here, we have Scenes in Build, and right now this area is completely empty. If we were to build this game right now, there would be nothing to play because there are no scenes in our game. So to get the scene that you're working on in the game, if you have your scene open, the easiest way is just to click Add Open Scenes. And now, I have my Mars scene right here in the build ready to go. Next, all I need to do is click Build. This opens up a small window that asks me what I want to save it as. First, I want you to just save this to your desktop for now to make it as easy to find as possible. Then, Save As, I want you to save this as Your Name Mars. That will just help me out when I'm grading these, so thanks in advance. And then, you can just hit Save. Now, depending on how much you've done in your game and how many different assets you have, this could take a long time or a short time to build. But just make sure that you have it plugged in and you're not about to run out of battery, and walk away and make yourself a sandwich, and then come back when it's done. So, once the build is finally done, let's go find it and test it out. Unity will actually very helpfully pop up right behind your build settings, a window with your files selected in it. Now, if I double click on this, it'll bring up a quick opening menu with some graphical settings. I'm going to actually turn my settings down to make sure this loads quickly for us. Then, I'll just click play and see if my game is working. Alright, here we are on the surface of Mars with my car. Guess it's a good thing I turned those graphics down because you see I am getting a little bit of lag. But then again, I'm running this on a laptop and not on my high-end gaming computer. But the important part is that it's working. So this file is what you're going to be sharing with me on Schoology. Let's go take a look at how to do that, just to make sure nobody has any problems with it. So here's my file. Let's get it over to Schoology. So over here, this isn't your exact folder. I built this in a different folder as an example, but this is what the process will look like. In this final week's folder, you'll find the final project assignment. Then, you'll click Submit Assignment. Mine says Resubmit because I already tested this out once. And then, right here, where it says File, you can click and simply go find the file that you just created. After selecting it, it may lag a little bit before it shows up here, so be patient. And then, it'll take longer still to zip it. While it's going through this process, I recommend you leave me a couple of notes here about your game. If there's anything that should be in your scene but it isn't, this would be a good place to tell me what is missing and why. If you tried to do it but you kept running into an error, let me know about that. If you simply started late and ran out of time, I want to know that too. That being said, I will be holding you accountable for what's in your game, but I want you to let me know how it went, what was going on, what went well, and what didn't. So please include that down here. You'll have a little bit of time while it uploads your game. Once it's finally done uploading, and you've left me a few notes about how everything went, you can go ahead and submit. Once you're certain that your assignment has been uploaded, pat yourself on the back and relax. You've just finished your final assignment for game design. Keep in mind, if you're really passionate about game design, you can go back and keep working on this level. Or you can create a project all your own and start experimenting and learning more. Or you can just go back to laying in bed and playing Among Us on your phones. Whatever you choose, good luck and have fun.